Tim is a friend from many, many years back. You are the manager, general manager?
Yeah, we actually own Naniboujou Lodge.
Oh, you do? Oh, wow. You and your wife.
Since 1985.
Wow. And that's just up the road. I took some video inside to show the dining room and the outside when we were there. But we met you like 30 years ago when you guys were...
when we first came here, it was 1980 when we came. You've been here longer than that. You were coming up in the 70s, I believe.
I think so, but yeah. And so where did you guys come up from, the cities?
Yeah, we came up, we lived in the Twin City area. We worked for a church organization called Campus Church. And it's a long story because the owners were turning the lodge over to their sons, and they were up here and they were in a drowning accident.
Oh, I remember it, yeah.
And so we used to come up and help out. And then eventually in 1980, the Wallaces asked the church if they wanted to purchase it, and they said they would. And then we were asked to manage it since we were the experts, having come up on weekends. And we said we would do that if the Wallaces stayed for another year, and they did. And then it's another long story, but in 1985 we bought it outright.
Wow. And now, how many kids do you guys have?
7 children.
And were they all born when you were living up here, or some?
We had 3 that were born. One was, then after that, the others were born up here. So 4 born up here.
Right.
They're all involved and intricately involved in the lodge over the years.
Yeah.
So.
And right on the shores of this lake. So, how is this lake? How do you describe its impact on your lives?
Well, it's what Nancy's my wife, and we just are amazed that it's never the same. It's just different. It's we just are so blessed that there's a creator that made it so creative, because Lake Superior never is the same. It has different moods. It's sometimes tranquil and beautiful. The sun's setting over. Sometimes it's raging. Sometimes it's noisy. Sometimes it's still. So we are just really appreciative of the variety.
And and you're out here today doing your 8 miles in your what kind of bike is this called?
It's a hand cycle.
Hand cycle.
Yeah, because I'm paralyzed from T4 on down, and it was a firefighting accident 12 years ago in a couple weeks. Same day you get back, on the 18th.
Really?
Is the day that happened, and so then I hand cycle on it. So it's great to get out that way.
Yeah, and that's why I'm filming you on this noisy highway here. Just a second.
Kate tracked me down. She was on the lake, and I barely heard you calling me.
I know. Well, when we got to Naniboujou, we saw you pedaling up the driveway, and we were still getting the stuff out of our car, and I thought, well, we'll catch them on the road, but you were already gone, so you're cruising. So you go and do about 8 miles a day?
Yeah, I go farther sometimes. My brother and sister, I have a brother, 2 siblings that we go. And we kind of exhausted all the Minnesota trails, and now we've gone down to Iowa.
Oh, great.
And then, there it's like maybe like 40, 45 miles a day then. But
wow.
Otherwise, I just think that it prolongs the life of my arms, really, if I don't go as far.
Yeah, yep.
And
you get out in the, outside.
And I get outside all winter, because that's 3 wheels. I'm able to bike all winter long.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And that's what's really nice, Kate, too, is talk about the lake. Seeing the lake in the wintertime, too, particularly. I mean, sometimes there's ice out on it. Sometimes it looks like it's frozen. And sometimes it just breaks up, and it's like window panes all along the shore. And sometimes when you can tell when it's below 0, because it's usually steam rising off it. It's very seldom that it freezes over. But it just is really an amazing lake. It just is. Got such a personality to it.
Well, so since 1980, have you lived year-round on the lake then?
Yeah, we have.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Naniboujou closes for some period of time?
Yeah, we close we're open really Mother's Day through MEA weekend, which is a teachers conference kind of weekend here in Minnesota. And then we reopen again after Christmas, but in between we have an elder hostel that ends our year, and an elder hostel that begins the year, but also if we have like weddings. If somebody wants a wedding or whatever, we reopen just for like weddings or special groups.
Yeah.
So we do have things going in between, but otherwise we're closed until after Christmas, and then Christmas we're open that week, and then just weekends throughout the winter.
Okay. Well, it's such a gorgeous place.
I
encourage people to come up here. Not only the setting on the lake, but the building and the history of the building.
Well, I do too. I mean, I don't do it just because I'm the owner and I want business, but I just think it's just such a unique it's a unique building, and then, you know, the thing is, Kate, I always feel like the lodge was a club back in the 20s. You're aware of that, but I don't know if everybody is. And they had anywhere they could put this club, and that's where they chose to put it. So with the Blue River there and everything, I think it's just really a beautiful spot. And boy, it's loud. I got some competition here. Over across the street is Judge Magny State Park. It's 3,000-acre state park, really beautiful, Devil's Kettle. That used to be part of the Naniboujou Club property as well.
Wow.
But when they folded because of the Depression, the state went back to the state.
Well, you and Nancy have been so fortunate to be on this lake as long as you have and see all those changes and get your kids. Did your kids stay? Have some of them stayed in the area?
Well, no, we have one that's helping us out, and one that's still in school. So we still have one in the nest. They're spread over 20 years. Our 7 children.
Oh my gosh.
But our grandkids even come up and don aprons and head for it as well.
That's wonderful.
No, I do have to say too, Kate, you talk about the lake and it's gorgeous, but I also have really appreciated not trying to be schmoozy, flattering with you, but it's people like you over the years too that it's the lake draws certain people up to this area, and that's really been I think even more special to us than the lake is itself.
The people that you've been able to meet.
Come to the lake.
Yeah, exactly.
And we have people like you that you're hiking around the whole lake, and we have people that we don't have lodge. Our lodge doesn't have phones or TVs, so people come up to enjoy the lake. They sit out by the lake, they write, they read, or they hike, and so we are kind of a getaway kind of a place.
Very much so. Very much so. Well, Tim, thank you for taking this time. I know. I hope you're not getting too chilled sitting here.
No, I'm not too chilled. Your husband's behind me taking pictures. Their mics are kind of joining in on us now at the end.
Finally, Well, anyway, I'm so glad we caught you here. I'm just sorry that we had the competition of the cars. But
that's not indicative of your trip.
No, but
really, blessings on the rest of your trip. That's really amazing, and it's great that you've done it. And I'm so glad that I ran into you.
Exactly. Well, take care, Tim.
Okay, thanks so much, Kate.